That was a case that involved, the DA speak, a rolling pharmacy, which is
that one.
Yeah.
right,
Yeah.
which means you had a lot of drugs in your car.
And a lot of different types of drugs.
And a lot of different types of drugs, fairly. Yeah, so that's their hot button issue. Rolling pharmacy, they like to scream. But it doesn't go to the point, which is how they get to the trunk to begin with.
Mm-hmm. Yeah.
And that's a mistake that admittedly a lot of defense attorneys make, is they get swallowed up in DA speak, which is rolling pharmacy, there's a shitload of drugs here. We gotta settle this case. Oh my God, I might have to litigate something. God forbid I gotta be a lawyer. And I can't be the human plea form. Right? And I looked at that and I remember saying, we got a problem if we lose this motion, but we had nothing to gain other than to do the motion. And we did the motion and I'm like, listen, I've been around, right? Someone turned, I've seen everything. I'm burnt out. That's who you want to hire? No. I'm like, Elmira, we need help, right? I know what I know. Good at many things. Research and writing is not one of them. Certainly not compared to the three of you, right? So, Elmira, this is the issue. Remember, you did a prelim with me, the preliminary hearing, and we set it up for the motion to suppress evidence. And then I sort of like, your show, run it. And the case got dismissed. And again, it wasn't, from a society standpoint. I mean, my brother is a lifelong DA in New York, tells me all the time, you get the easiest job in the world. Like, what are you talking about? He goes, you win. He goes, it's a personal accomplishment. I go, well, it's justice and that whole thing, but forget about that, right? This is a man who I look like as my father, but it's like, hey, at the end of the day, it's like, hey, justice and like the law and stuff too, right? But he's like, he goes, sometimes, you do your best job and in society, justice is justice, right? But in that situation, it's like a lot of people are like, oh, you got a guy off on technicality. It's like, that's the law. It's like, it doesn't matter whether they found a rolling pharmacy in the trunk or they found a body or they found nothing. They found boxing gloves in the trunk. And that's the thing, right? And that's where the value of what you brought to that case was amazing. Now, what happened afterwards, future cases, whatever, that's a whole other issue with that individual.
Yeah.
But if we can't hold them to stuff whether our clients are guilty of it or not, what are we doing? We're just like everybody else.
To be clear, though, it does matter a little bit if it's a body in the trunk. I feel like we said that a little nonchalantly.
It's all hearsay.